All right, guys, how much money could you be saving if you quit marijuana? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much, or at least have a game plan to find out how much you are spending each month on marijuana and really what you could be doing with that money besides smoking weed. So I don't know about you guys, but I spent a lot of money on marijuana and it was draining my bank account. In the moment, I would ignore it and I didn't really realize how much I was spending. Once I got clean though, and I decided to start taking responsibility for my life on a much deeper level, I realized, wow, I'm kind of broke. Like, this sucks. When I was selling weed. So I always thought I had money because I had money that my dealer lent me. And eventually I got robbed about 10 grand. So that cost me obviously a lot of money. And I kind of left with nothing. So it was a big wake up call that, wow, I was blowing stacks and stacks of cash on money that I could have been using for other things. You might be able to relate to this. Maybe your financial life isn't booming right now. And you know in the back of your head or in your heart that you're spending a lot of money on weed. So for those of you that do want to find out how much you're spending so you can get real with your finances, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to track how much you spent in the last month. This is really important. This is something I do today. So I record everything that I spend and I keep it in an expense sheet. And this helps me keep track of each dollar that's going out. So I have a better sense of how much money I have at all times. And it helps me be more responsible too, because I can actually see how much money I'm spending each day. I can't delude myself anymore. So what I recommend is, if you can, go into your bank account and look at all the times you either took out cash for weed or you bought from a dispensary. Add that up and look at that number honestly, and it might hurt. Facing the truth can be difficult. It will set you free. In the beginning though, it can be challenging. Remember that, guys, though, it will set you free as you start to face the pain of the reality of your situation. You may be spending a lot of money, a lot more money than you thought ever on marijuana. Now, maybe you're not able to track everything you spent. What you can do then is, from this day forward, is to start to record your expenses and how much money you're spending on marijuana for the next month and look at it honestly. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, journal about it, however you want to figure it out in your own head, what you could be using that money for if you weren't smoking weed. Could you be investing it, making even more money? Could you be saving it to have more of a comfortable living and knowing that you have money in the bank in case of an emergency? Maybe you are already financially well. Could you be using that to give to others? Could you be using that to get healthier food, get a new gym membership, be able to afford cool trips? I mean, the list goes on and on. All the things I really wanted in life became a struggle because I didn't have the money to afford it. I found a way because that's kind of who I am. I'm very resourceful, but it was a lot of work. I didn't have thousands of dollars in the bank to go and shop at Whole Foods. I had to most of my paychecks each week were going to food so I could eat really healthy. That was worth it to me because I knew that was going to be really important for my long-term health and recovery, and it has been. So that is something I'm grateful for. But it was definitely a stressor. Also, kind of my financial journey, I've learned the importance of having money to pay bills. I would often push things to the last minute or leave bills unpaid and pay it after a few days because it was just so painful to pay it because I didn't have much money to pay it with. And over this journey, I've learned how to be more financially responsible and really appreciate having money in my bank account. Like, growing up, I took things for granted for sure. And now there's something about going to bed at night knowing that my bills are going to be paid, that I'm going to be okay, that I can live where I'm living and I'm not going to go homeless or whatever. It's a really good feeling, and it's something that money, well, my money can buy, but it's invaluable. It's something that I never thought I would appreciate as much as I do. And that's because I decided to take responsibility for my finances. So the last thing you can do after you've looked at your expenses and what you could really be doing with that money is to start creating a spending plan. Start allocating money towards the things that you want to be doing in life. And that might mean cutting back on the weed smoking. Now, maybe you're not ready to quit yet, and I understand it's a process. Quitting weed is a process, it's not an event. So maybe this could be the wake-up call for you that, hey, it's time to quit smoking weed. It's time to start taking my life seriously and thinking about my long-term future, thinking about all the my dreams and goals and aspirations that might have been slipping to the wayside or may have completely gone up in smoke because of the amount of weed you were buying. Money comes and goes. It's not everything. And this is something I've learned on my journey too, is that money is very important. It isn't who I am though. And so there's a very fine balance between needing to have money and not needing money. It's a very interesting paradox, and it's something I'm still working through. So I'm not perfect at it. I know though that I can appreciate money for what it does and for what it is. and less I'm becoming attached to it and saying, okay, this is who I am. I am not the number in my bank account. I am not the income that's coming in from my work. And at the same time, and it's very important. And I need to be careful with it and responsible with it and wise with it. And in doing so, I am rewarded with more responsibility to have more money and therefore get to do cooler and cooler things and get to have a lot more freedom in my life and be able to go out and have a nice dinner and not really sweat about it. That's whew. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And it all came from the decision to stop smoking weed and use that money towards things I really wanted in life. So to wrap up the spending plan topic, if you need help with creating a spending plan and what that might look like, the details involved, then schedule a consult with me down below and I can help you start working on your finances within marijuana recovery. Quitting weed is the foundation, of course, and obviously you need it to have this next chapter of your life. However, there's a whole nother realm of living outside of weed that can take a long time to learn and can be a bit of a struggle. I definitely have struggled with it. I've had many mentors help me in learning how to be financially disciplined, how to be better with my money, and in turn get to do a lot of cool things. And so that's what I'm here for, to help you be able to start being wise and responsible with your money. And that's going to start with creating that spending plan. So we'll map out, we'll sit down, we'll see how much money is going in and out each month. And then we can start putting that money towards the things that you really want, making sure you have expenses to have fun, right? So you don't want to become a slave to the money. Also, like paying off debts, like if you have any debts, outstanding debts, how can we start making payments towards those and really working on knocking those out, because that's going to make a huge difference in your life. And in being open and honest about where your financial situation is, you're going to have a lot more agency and clarity on it, where you can start to be a lot, again, more wise and responsible with your money. And if you do want some support and accountability in quitting weed, I'm here for that too. I help people quit weed fast and efficiently. I want people in and out of the doors within a month to 2 months so they can start living their best life and getting to do all these fun things, like starting creating better income streams, go on cool trips, whatever it might look like for you. Really, we start to map that out. And what I find with most people I work with, after a couple of weeks, the weed's not really an issue anymore. Once you get through that first week or so of withdrawal, you're kind of over it. And most people start to be like, okay, what's next? I want to deal with this now. I want to tackle this. I want to start working towards this goal. And it's just really cool that by the end of the first month, we're not even talking about weed anymore. We hop on the call and we just instantly start talking about other cool stuff. So know that weed recovery is right around the corner, and relief and freedom and all that is just, man, it's just a step away. So I'm excited talking about it because I know it's possible, because I did it. I'm living it. I know that you can too. And I know that most of you are right there. You just need to push through a little bit harder, hold yourself accountable a little bit harder, and say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And before you know it, just like that, I look back 8 years ago and I'm just like, it feels like yesterday, and yet it feels like a lifetime ago. I could never have imagined that I would be here where I am right now, in the city of my dreams, getting to have amazing relationships, amazing experiences. Went out to sushi with my friends today and we just ate a crap ton of sushi. The little things, right? I never would have expected that on that first day where I decided to quit weed. And I just remember getting a giant nasty salad and starting, I went and I worked out. And then 6 days later, I moved into my apartment and all I had was a chair and I sat in the room and I'm just like, wow, this is my life. How the hell, what the heck am I going to do? And I just took things one day at a time, one day at a time. It's been one crazy journey and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And at the same time, I never want to go through that again, because it freaking hurt. a lot of pain, but a lot of growth at the same time. And as much as the first year or so might be difficult, getting on your feet, before you know it, like I said, you'll be in a completely different life. You're going to be having completely new experiences and you're going to be happy. You're going to be genuinely happy. So again, I'm here to help you with that. And for that, again, you can schedule a consult with me down below. We'll hop on a call. I'll get to know you a bit, find out what your goals are and the best game plan for you to get off weed as fast as possible. So with that, guys, appreciate you coming into the channel. Talk to you soon. Peace.